Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you your preview and everything else you need to know for tomorrow's crucial second leg game in the Europa Conference League versus Pacos de Ferreira, where, of course, we are 1-0 down. But I will say is Pacos did lose to the Northern Ireland team, Larne, on their away leg as well. So there definitely is hope for Tottenham Hotspur tomorrow. Of course, we are joined by Jack Kanicki and, of course, channel favourite Philip. We'll start with Jack. Jack, how are you, my man?
Keeping really well, David. Keeping really well, especially looking forward for a bit of redemption against, Pacos de Ferreira, considering that I felt like, it was a bit embarrassing. I'm kind of glad maybe we weren't as much of a laughing stock as I thought we would be. Felt like we kind of slid under the radar maybe, in terms of that loss. But, now it's the time just to redeem ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. It's D-Day tomorrow, 100%. Philip, how are you keeping, my man?
Yeah, great. Really good. Good to see you, lads. Like Jack was saying, we did go under the radar a bit. I expected it to be far worse, but let's hope that tomorrow all the texts will be for the right reasons. That we put these boys back in their box where they belong.
I hope so. I definitely don't want to be sitting here angry tomorrow evening. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But look, guys, we will welcome a few people in, a few of the Harris Army that are here. We have Cranford says, Coys, big yourself up, Cranford. Hope things are well. Sue Smith, hello, Sue. Hope things are well. I hope you're having a good evening. Dark Song G says, Coys, I would go Session instead of Mr. 33 and go with White instead of Mr. Easy Pass. I will leave Mr. Oscar in. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, look, me personally, I won't be giving too many of my points of view, to be honest with you. I'll just be firing questions at Jack and Philip. But look, just quickly, yeah, me personally, I would start Session on left back instead of Davies. And maybe not White instead of Mr. Easy Pass, but I probably would definitely put Højbjerg and a Skip in there anyway. I will explain why. I have sort of a little question later on that I'll probably explain why, Mr. Dark Sun G. So big yourself up. And he also says, hopefully Newcastle goes for Winks. I hope they do. Mr. Edwardson says, Ronaldo going to PSG. Come on, lad. Come on. That if that happens, there's no financial fair play in football whatsoever. I'm even questioning it now, but, definitely if that happens. No, yeah, Man City, yeah, there's talks of that. Hopefully that does happen, actually, Cranford, because then it means Harry Kane will stay in, here until he wants to retire, basically.
Honestly, also good for Man City because then they'd be signing a player, David, that wouldn't want to pass. So, honestly, just be all the right, types of signings that we'd like to see.
100%. 100%. It'd be absolutely brilliant. It means they can keep their grubby paws off us. Their hands that are dirty with oil. You know what I mean? We don't want them touching us.
No.
Gary O'Neill says, Galini, Davies, Dyer, Romero, Doherty, Hill, Ali, Skip, Bergvine, Kane, Scarlett, no Winks for me. Coys, absolutely. Glove it, Gary O'Neill. Same here. Mr. Edwardson, yeah, he's talking to Crawford there. Big yourselves up. We have Romero. Hello, Romero. How are things? Says Fabrizio Romano posted that we have been offered to sign Owar from Lyon, but he's not a priority for us. Yeah, but look, it's one that maybe we can keep there on the back burner on deadline day if we still need a centre back in, and the option is available to us, Romero.
Big up, Romero.
And let us know if you want him playing in beside you. Catman Jess says, hello, Harris Army. Big up, Catman. I hope things are well. Dan N says, you must be absolutely buzzing, Dave. Time to push on and win something for Kane. Yeah, of course. Look, you can see by the big smile on my face. Look, I stood by him through thick and thin. Through them dark days when everyone was caning me, I stood by him. You know what I mean? And look, sometimes I keep saying to people, all you have to do is believe. You believe in something enough, it will come true. And that's exactly what happened then. And I'm absolutely buzzing. You bet you, my man. You bet you. Dampu Dulom says, Doherty, no. Yeah, I agree. David says he's one of our own. He's worth more than Wolves. Absolutely love it. Of course he is. Derek Hutchinson says, yes, I would start them. And if they do not do the business, I would cancel their contracts and ask them to leave. Absolutely love it. He's referring to Davies, Doherty, and Winks.
Yeah.
Kurt says, let's go. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Kurt. Hope things are well. As always in the building. Good day. I hope things are good with you. I hope things are good.
Big up, Zoe.
We have Ian Harper. I want to play Harry Kane. I want Harry Kane to start tomorrow. 100%. I think a lot of us do. And it's saying 3-1. 3-1 Spurs. Absolutely love it. We have Garrett Lockery says, I'd like to see Dave. Yeah, look, I'm sure a lot of people like to see me up front there tomorrow, but look, I'm too expensive for these guys.
I think you would have to become a box-to-box midfielder, Dave. I'm not sure if Nuno has space for you in the number 10. Dave, you're going to have to become like Delhi. You're going to have to start, working out over the summer. Maybe go take a trip to Dubai, Dave. Running up the hills. You're going to have to, maybe even more reason to get, in better shape for both of us, Dave. Maybe Nuno has a spot for us.
No, look, 100%. I definitely games like this is where I should be playing anyway. Golden Cock says, buzzing Kane for another season at least. More time to help as well. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah. Look, I'll be honest with you. The only person I'm going to let come in really on this one about the whole Harry Kane saga is Philip, because me and Jack are back here at 9:30, and that's where we will be talking about Harry Kane. You do not want to miss that, trust me. Who else have we got? We've got DMT 1985. Big up. Hope things are well. We have Paro Miguel Escobardo. I love that pronunciation. I got that one good. He
well
says,
done, Dave.
Pick yourself up. Hope things are well. Wayne Bonner says, if Kane plays, he's likely for at least another season. Then start him on Thursday and tell him to prove it. Wayne, he loves this club. Come on, Wayne. Let's be more positive. He loves this club. Come on, Wayne. You're better than that. Wayne. I hope you're having a good day as well. Hope you're having a good day, Wayne. Adrian Schraka says, I would play an attacking 3-4-3. Interesting. Leon says, evening lads, and big up, Leon. I hope things are well. Eddie Ryan's in Sky Sports offer Man City 60 million to help them buy Kane. Michael AI says, I feel sorry for Winks. He is loved by all the Tottenham fans. He belongs in the championship with Cardiff City. 100%. Yeah, I do feel sorry for the guy, I'll be honest. Ratio D&B says, hi guys, big yourself up. We have Kane, the long shot. OR has attitude issues like Ndombele. There's a reason none of the big clubs are going for him. Yeah, interesting. Crypto Pritch Gaming says, let's go Harris Army. Big yourself up. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We have Tony Austin in as well. He says, evening on. Big up, Tony. Guys, before we do get into it, make sure you do smash that like button, guys. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. The big push for 5K is on. As well, feel free to get in your super chats, guys. Sometimes the chat does hot up and get very busy, and it just gets you to the very, very front of the queue. And as well, it is a great way to show support for the channel, guys. So, it's up to you. It's completely optional. But big yourself up, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you do smash that like. But look, speaking of super chats, big up Dark Sun G. Absolutely love it. My man, thank you so much. Says, what do you think about the Premier League teams not sending players on international duties in ready areas? Romero and Lo Celso and Sanchez will stay, hopefully. Well, look, we'll let Philip answer, and then we'll let Jack answer, and then I'll start giving you guys everything you need to know on the team news.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely delighted if the COVID regulations meant that our guys had to stay at home. Because, I mean, we send a lot of players away every international break, and you're always sweating to see that they all come back fit. And they don't always do that. Yeah. So, like, said Romero, they'd have to fly 5,000 miles to play a match and fly back again. No, keep them here. It'll benefit us, and it'll reduce the chance of them getting any injuries, or catching something that might mean they're in quarantine for a couple of weeks when they come back. So no. Yeah. Bring it on. This is one time where I'd like the regulations to be adhered to.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely love it. Great answer, Philip. And just quickly, before we do let Jack answer, Dark Sun G, I want to get you on the next fan show. I want to get you on. So get in contact with me. My email is in the description below. We want you on. So sorry, Jack. Go on.
No, pick up Dark Sun G. We absolutely want you. Maybe Dark Sun G, even if you were just to grace us, I would say, with your stats in person, David and I would be absolutely thankful. And also as well for all the support that you've shown us, Dark Sun G. Honestly, you deserve, some time, in front of David and I, in front of the Harris Army, just to put a name to such a generous and very, very wise face. Clearly, David, very wise person as well with all the stats. But Dark Sun G, I would say, to be honest, I've never really taken the stance before and things, but, sometimes you do have to put your allegiance, where you're being paid clearly, like where your wages are coming from, as much as we all would want to play for a country, especially if you're from, maybe a smaller country where, every game does matter. Even the friendlies kind of do matter, I would say. It's kind of, you still have to realize, who's paying your bills, who's paying your check. and you have to, put your allegiance there. As much as that really, it's kind of harsh to say. The only reason I'm saying it is because, David, we're in a pandemic, and during the pandemic, these kind of really extraneous scenarios kind of maybe force that kind of logic. Normally I would never have that logic towards things, but with the pandemic, it has to be this way.
Yeah, 100%. And Dark Song G, I just hope we tell them no. At the end of the day, my only stance is on it is that you think they would have had this long sorted long before now coming into the new season. It's a joke that they're waiting till call-up time to now try and sort a situation out. It's absolutely a shambles. It's a shambles with the amount of people that have at this organisation and the amount of research to put into other areas. You think this is one that might have been on the agenda, top priority list, but clearly wasn't. So it is what it is. Thanks FIFA and that for that situation. I appreciate that. But Dark Song G, look, moving on to more pressing issues. Let me know who you want to see tomorrow night. Would you start these Davies and Winks? Let me know. Let's welcome one or two more in. We have Aspect as well, big up Aspect. How do you feel about Kane? I respect that he was the one that made the statement and not the club. Aspect, I will get onto that shortly, my man. Like I said, me and Jack won't be answering, but we will get Philip's thoughts. Yeah, of course they do, Sean. I know they do. We have Brad Hofspur says, Jack, where'd you get the shirt?
This was, David, I think I told you this before, every Christmas, every birthday, the aunts, the uncles, everybody practically in the extended family that knows, forcefully that I am, a Spurs fan, every year they've given me some version of a t-shirt like this, and I've collected them over the years, Dave. This one, it's honestly, I can't even get it off the missus. It's one of those shirts that, the missus wears all the time, when she's done with work or when she's going to bed or whatever, so I will say it's actually a rare opportunity for me to even wear it, Dave.
I absolutely love it. Tell your missus to keep a grubby paws off of all Spurs stuff has to stay in pristine precision, Jack. There's some things in life you just can't share with the missus.
She can't touch the kit, Dave. She can't touch the kit. We all know that. She can't touch the kit. Yeah.
Honestly, when I have the jersey on, I do walk up to the missus singing, dun, and can't touch it. You know what I mean? Can't touch it. It kills her. Chris says, hell no, I wouldn't let Stinks anywhere near that team. Big up, Chris. I hope things are well, my man. HB Pro 84 says, Lo Celso over Winks, put Aurier on the shop window. Yeah, good shout. 100%.
I think he is on the shop window. It just seems to be taking forever. Sorry, Dave, I interrupted you. Sorry. Yeah,
no. I was just saying, I just don't know if I trust Aurier. That's all. I just wouldn't trust him.
I don't really trust Aurier anymore. I think Aurier, to be honest, it's nice to see that he's still nice, distraction, on the field, during training, seems to be always still, kind of buddy with everyone, which is, it's still nice to see. But I will say, I think Aurier is in the shop window. It's just, no one's really taking him at the moment. And, maybe Paratici is just having a tough time, maybe getting the right deal for Levy and even the right deal for the club. And then also, Lo Celso over Winks every time. I've said this to David. Lo Celso at his worst, and we saw his worst at Pacos de Ferreira. Lo Celso at his worst is still much better than Harry Winks. Lo Celso is far more efficient at passing sideways, passing backwards. Lo Celso's hospital passes, I would say, are at least a bit better. They're a bit, on the floor. They don't bobble as much, Dave. So I would say Lo Celso at his worst is still better than Winks.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more with that. Everyone knows my feeling on Harry Winks. But big up HB Pro 84, big up Dark Song G. Really appreciate the support. Everyone else, keep getting the support in, guys. You really don't understand how much it really does help out. And as well, if you guys want to come on our fan show every Monday at 9:30, usually from 9:30 till about 12 midnight, grab that channel membership, guys. Grab that white membership and come on and have your say every Monday. And a lot of our games, especially for the first part of the season, will be on Sunday. So it's perfect for you to come on and have that therapy if we need it. But look, guys, we will get into it. So look, of course, like I said, we're 1-0 down after the first leg, but we are at home tomorrow. Kickoff is at 7:45 p.m. The match is on Premier Sports 2. And of course, you can join me on the pre-match pump-up at 6:30 p.m. over on We Are Tottenham TV, guys. I would really love the support with the Harris Army getting over there. So just some team news. Romero is fit. Nuno saying that he is fit. Roden and Cameron Carter-Vickers remain on the sidelines. Roden is getting better. He's just not fit for today. And, of course, Romero being fit after being left out of the Wolves squad on Sunday. The only injury problem for Pacos to Ferreira is same as last week. Doherty, their number one goalkeeper, he's out for the season. And that's just all the team news there. So, look, we'll start. We'll get into it. So, Philip, look, we started last week against Pacos de Ferreira at 5-3-2. Obviously, we changed it up at halftime. We brought off a Niall John and went for like a 5-2, a 5-2-3. It was a bit different. But would you go with that same formation again, or would you revert back to a 4-3-3 and go with the 4-3-3?
Good question.
Well, I think it's debatable whether we did get started last Thursday. You know, we were on the pitch, but I mean, the lack of cohesion, the lack of creativity, the lack of shots on target. I mean, it was, you know, I don't know. It was just
lack of everything, Philip. Maybe
lack of everything. It was just sitting there. Why this can't be our Spurs team is playing here. I mean, we went into that match. You know, okay, we played a lot of the young guys, but I mean, even they should be good enough and skillful enough to beat a team like, as I call them, Ferreiro Rocher, Paco Ferreiro. You know, it's one of the unanswered mysteries as to why we didn't even manage one shot on target in 93 minutes.
Shocking.
You know, it shouldn't be happening. You know, poor Dane Scarlett must have pulled whatever hair he has in his head out when he got into the dressing room afterwards. Because it was as if he was like the invisible man. They couldn't see him up there. Nobody was playing the ball into him. So, like, we're good. Like, tomorrow night, I still think we're going to go through, and we'll go through comfortably. But there's going to have to be some changes made to that team.
Yeah.
The three most experienced players that started last week, Lo Celso, Winks, and Davies, I would only play Lo Celso.
Well,
because at least, you know, the guy has got a pass in him if he can pick it out. And playing at home in front of a good sized crowd, you know, I think it might just get him raise his game. And I would also bring in the likes of Lucas Moura and possibly Bergwijn, just even for the first half. Like, if we can get 3 or 4 goals up at halftime, take them off and bring on the kids. Yeah, I have a feeling Nuno might spring a surprise tomorrow night in lieu of what's happened today, and bring Harry Kane on at some stage.
Yes,
I don't think he'll start him, but I think he possibly might bring him on for the last 10 minutes, providing, okay, it'll be 2 reasons you'll bring him on. One, we need him because we're losing, which is hopefully not going to be the case. But more than likely, I would say, is to give the home crowd a chance to really, really lift the roof when the guy comes on the pitch. Because let's face it, he mentioned that the reception he got at Wolves last week was what surprised him, that he thought it wasn't going to be as positive. So if a Wolves crowd of 2,000 or 3,000 Spurs fans can do that, what can 50 or 60,000 people do tomorrow night? Make them really feel at home.
Absolutely love it. That's a great answer, Philip. Well done. Absolutely love it, especially with the point of, 50, 60,000 tomorrow night singing his name. He's going to absolutely adore it. So he is. Eamon Burns says, David, where are you from again? County Kildare, my man. County Kildare, that's where I'm from. Jack looks in. Sorry, quickly. After we have some housekeeping to do. Big up, Joe. Really appreciate it. He says, simple answer. I wouldn't play any of them jokers. I would also drop Lo Celso too, as he cannot pass the ball 5 yards. Look, for me, I would actually I'd rather him play there than Harry Winks. That's definitely for sure. Everyone knows my jury's out on Lo Celso. I'm not sure on him, but look, he's definitely nowhere near going to be sold or anything else like that. So these are the sort of games where he's going to have to play in, and hopefully it brings a bit of form, a bit of confidence, and then puts pressure on the guys in the first team so that they don't get comfortable. So we do need Lo Celso this year. I would say, Joe. But look, I get it. I fully get it. I get frustrated with his passing at times too. I think sometimes it's just sloppy and careless. Some simple passes he should be making. But look, we'll see how he goes this season, Joe. Yeah. We'll see how he goes this season. But Joe, me and you will keep an eye on him. Me and you will keep a strong eye on him, Joseph. Don't you worry. Big up, Joe. I really, really, really appreciate the support, man.
Big up, Joe.
Absolute
really appreciate it, Joe.
Want to say anything to Joe?
I would just say, David, I think you said all I would say. Maybe, Joe, I would just say for this game, I think Lo Celso would probably do best in, the role that maybe Dele Alli's been playing, which is more of that box-to-box midfielder. Even against Pacos, Dave, he was playing more of like, you could say, Højbjerg's role. Of course, it's, even mentioning, him playing Højbjerg's role in the same sentence is such a disservice to what Højbjerg does for us.
Yeah.
But, he was, technically supposed to be doing, a bit of Højbjerg's role, you might say, next to Winks, and then Winks was playing maybe Skippy's role, even though we were doing a 3 in the back, Winks was the one really sitting back, where Lo Celso is kind of being more the destroying box-to-box midfielder. And I feel like if we did a midfield 3, I would put Lo Celso as the highest midfielder, at least. I think that would best serve him. But I agree with you. Sometimes it really does seem like Lo Celso has to, at least at one point, dribble it out of bounds with no pressure. He seems like he gets one of those a game now. And then as well, he does seem to, pass it sideways and unnecessarily, give one-touch passing to players when we're down, 1-0 even. That's probably the one thing infuriates me about him. So I will say, Lo Celso is definitely not, he's losing the fan club, Joe. I would definitely agree.
100%. Big up, Joe. Really appreciate the support. Everyone else, keep getting those super chats in, guys, if you want to keep jumping the queue. Jack, same question to you. Look, the 5-3-2 at the first half last week, it clearly didn't work. He changed it up then second half to a 5-2-3. That didn't work. Would you resort back to 4-3-3 this game?
Simply because, Dave, we're just a better team. I mean, we did withstand, a back 3, or a back 5 with Wolves. And Wolves, back 3, back 5 system looked very, very, very sophisticated with the way that they just seemed to, bypass our midfield with, long balls. The way that they were bringing Neves into the game, was very intelligent, I would say. And we, faced a back 3, back 5 system there. And we scratched out a 1-0 in that scenario against the likes of Pacos de Ferreira. I would reckon that we would probably be able to have a much easier time, even with the back 4. So I would say we stick with what we know and go to the back 4. I'm a bit disappointed that our back 3, back 5 system didn't look as great as we all maybe thought it would have been. But maybe that just says more about the players than it does about Nuno, because again, Nuno's had plenty of success with Wolves with his back 3, back 5 system, and then has also had plenty of success at the likes of Valencia, Rio Ave, with his back 4 system. So maybe it just seems like at the moment we're more comfortable with the back 4, but that again just depends on the personnel. It really depends on the personnel. If we're playing Doherty, I think we have to go with the back 3, back 5. Like, he's that much of a liability, I feel like, in the back 4 that you just almost, sadly, Dave, it's that situation, you build the whole team around him, even though he's the last person you would want to do that for, but it's just because he's that much of a liability. So I would say if Doherty is playing, we would do the back 3, back 5.
Oh, I hope not. I just don't want to see it. I don't like it. We just don't have the players to play it either. We've seen Jose try and do it at times last season. It just we're not comfortable with it whatsoever. Paul Markey says 40 winks, only job tomorrow night is Waterboy. Yeah, 100%. That's what I hope. What do you think, Philip? Stick a bib on them and send them out with the water bottles?
I hear they're a bit short in one of the bars behind the South Stand tomorrow night. He might be better pulling pints than he is passing the ball,
He's not big enough to carry the kegs, Philip, though. He's not big enough to carry the kegs.
He's not strong enough to carry the six to carry the bottles out. So like Philip says, we'll go to the South Stand tomorrow and you can get a few pints pulled by Harry Winks. Absolutely love it, Paul Markey. Great comment, my man. Appreciate the support. You have HB Pro 84, who's become a new channel member. Big up, HB. I hope to see you on the fan show Monday, guys. You want to get on that fan show Monday? Every Monday, 9:30. White membership, guys. Go and get it, guys, and we'll get you on. Dark Sun G says the Gooners are playing West Brom Albion in the Carabao Cup today. The funny thing is that they are using Ramsdale on. Please, no easy pass tomorrow. I want to see youth. What I will say, Dark Sun G, is look, Ramsdale and goals, they could definitely go out tonight. Look, West Brom, on their day, they're a dogged team. They're hard to play against. They'll fight for every ball. Arsenal, we all know they're big time.
Do they still have Robinson, Dave? Do they still have Robinson?
Yeah, Percy Robinson.
Yeah. The Irish
he's
guy.
Not bad on his day. He can be good on his day.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened tonight. And if it does happen, I'm not even going to be surprised. It's just what I come to expect from the Gooners. The big time Charlies, they don't want to get stuck into these games, and that's why they end up losing the majority of them. And Ramsdale, look, that's a joke. I can't believe they sold Martinez for like the same money that they bought Ramsdale. It's what is going on at Arsenal Football Club? What is going on? And he doesn't want Winks, no, neither do we, trust me. And youths, I'll be honest with you, I'd rather do what Phillips says and what Jack is saying, go with a bit of a stronger team and then bring on the youth Dark Sun G. But Dark Sun G, let me know what formation you think we should play tomorrow. I think that's important. Whether it is the 5-5-3-2, whether it's the 4-3-3, Dark Sun G, let me know what you want to see, my man. Jack, anything quickly you want to say, Dark Sun G?
No, he's preaching to the choir, Dave. He wants to see less of the Winksies. He wants to see less of, Mr. 33. He wants to see less of Easy Pass. Who else are we missing? He probably wants to see less of, the Irish Doherty. And then as well, he wants to see the youths. And that's what we were, saying to each other, Dave, before this, show, we were saying, if we actually just maybe even put more of the youths in, we might have even had a better display. It really was, the likes of Davies, Winks, and et cetera, that were actually holding us back, ironically.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Look, like I keep saying to people, Colchester, Zagreb, Antwerp, and Pacos to Ferreira, it's not just luck. It's not unlucky. It's a common denominator there, a common theme. But big up Dark Sun G, really appreciate the support. Everyone else, keep getting the support in, guys. And if, like I said, if you want to keep jumping the queue, we will get everybody's comment up, as always, like I do promise, guys, so don't worry about that. So look, where are we now? So look, we'll go to you, Philip. With Roden and Cameron Carter Vickers out, it looks certain Romero will start tomorrow, especially judging by Nuno's comments. Who would you play beside him?
Well, I mean, the only other recognised centre back we've got is Eric Dyer. Now, unless the Nuno decides to utilise Ben Davies as a centre back, which he could well do, I think that might actually be the way he'll go, because I don't think we want to play the likes of Eric Dyer in a game like that, So it could well be Romero and Davies as the centre backs, which would leave me confident and not so confident at the same time, really, because who knows what Davies can get up to. But I'll take comfort from one thing: he played there for Wales in the Europeans, and he was quite, he certainly didn't disgrace himself. He played okay. So I mean, if he can do the same for us, all well, it might be a better position for him. It might be a position he's probably more useful to us at. Because I think I'd rather have the likes of for league games anyway, have the likes of Reguilon playing on the left side, bombing up and down there, So maybe it's going to be Romero and Davies tomorrow. If not, otherwise it's got to be Eric Dyer. There's nobody else. Interesting.
Good shout. Me personally, I would actually rather put a Dyer or Sanchez in behind him and maybe try and get them start getting minutes together. But look, I can see it. You can see it coming from a mile away. Like Philip says, I literally wouldn't be surprised see Davies play left-sided centre-back tomorrow. Jack, same question for you. Who would you put him beside Romero tomorrow?
Who would I put him beside him? I mean, to be honest, Dave, what I would prefer would actually be the likes of maybe someone like Davinson Sanchez, and, in a back four is probably what I would prefer. What I envision happening, what I probably see happening is some sort of maybe what Dark Sun G was saying, a 3-4-3, a 3-4-2-1 sort of formation, where Davies comes in as the left-sided center-back, Romero in the middle yet again, as he did against Pacos de Ferreira, and maybe that right-sided center back might be Davinson Sanchez, and I would say preferably, Davinson Sanchez there. And when you think about it that way, Davies, I don't trust him to play a pass, really, but theoretically, he's supposed to be able to be a bit better on the ball, as a center back. But, Romero has done very well. He was the best Serie A defender in the league last season, playing in that middle kind of role as a center back. So you could think that this is where, he could thrive. And then Davinson Sanchez is more the sweeper, kind of role, who could still also ping it, from behind, it seems like now. So maybe that actually might be the best way to go about it. And I feel like the rest of the lineup picks itself, where, unfortunately, it's probably going to be someone like Doherty, playing the right wing back. And then it might be hopefully someone like Reguilon at the left wing back position. And then maybe in the center mids, we see... This is the tough one. This is the tough one, or the center mids, Dave. It might be Niall John, and maybe it's a 3-man midfield. Maybe Niall John.
I'll get on to midfield, Jack.
I guess we will. Yeah, Dave. I'm already cutting too much into it. So yeah, that would be my back three, Dave. Sorry about that. Cut 2 minutes.
No. Interesting. Back three. So you're going back three tomorrow. Very interesting.
I think it's what it has to happen, Dave. I think that's what's going to be happening. It's not maybe what I would prefer, but that's what I see happening.
Yeah. 100%. Brad Matthews says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Go strong from the off tomorrow. Get the match won early and get rid of the nerves." Yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree. I just look.
Does that mean starting Kane?
I would start him, but we will get onto that. I would start him, but I will get onto that. Look, for me, I would just go. I would go strong, like strong-ish. I still think you can still play the likes of Lo Celso in there. I think you might see a Davies. Look, you can still play. For me, I think you can still play Session and a Brian Hill as well. In midfield, I probably would throw either an Ollie Skip or definitely a Højbjerg in there. Get your main man up front and really go for it. And just go for them. And look, the nerves, that's a question I have for at the end, Brad. It's just I definitely don't want to see another repeat of Zagreb. This will be a new low for Tottenham Hotspur if we go out tomorrow night. A new low. It'll be embarrassing, and I for one definitely wouldn't be able to take it. Not in the Europa Conference League to a side, that I had to go and do research on. I've never really heard it before. It's just embarrassing. But big up, Brad Matthews. I really appreciate the support, my man. I hope to see you Monday on the fan show. Big up, Brad. Everyone else, keep getting the support in, guys. Keep getting the super chats in, especially if you want to jump the queue. So look, Philip, we'll go back to you. Would you start Davies and Doherty again after their abysmal performance last week?
I would actually put the Petsoski, the
Piscotty
guy. Yeah, I'd put him in at right back. Let's face it, this crowd tomorrow night are not going to come and attack us. They barely attacked us on our own ground, so the chances are they're going to pack their defense tomorrow night. So if we, I think we're going to have license to get forward a lot tomorrow. And that guy Pescocchi, the guy I'm talking about.
You can call him Mr. P. We'll let you in. You can call him
Estonian.
He's only 17, I think, or 18, and he's already a full international.
Yeah.
The guy has got talent. So this is the type of game I would actually throw him in at as a right wing back, and tell him to bomb forward. Now the other side, I'll go back to Jack's suggestion there. If I was going to play a back three, I would play Mr. P on the right. I'd play maybe Davies, Romero, and maybe Sanchez if possible, and as three centre backs, and put Sessignon in on the left. Right? That gives you your width to go forward. Now you're probably moving on to the midfield now, so I won't go that far. You've said your choice, but that'd be, in hindsight, thinking about the players that are available, that might be my back five, and then basically let the two boys have license to roam forward on the wings.
Yeah, good point. That's a very good point. Great point, Philip. Jerry says, for what it's worth, Eric Dyer's on the matchday program cover for tomorrow. So, yeah, look, Jerry, I'll be honest with you. I've had builders in all day long. I haven't been able to do much in terms of research and stuff, covering up stuff and being out of the way and stuff like that. So I appreciate that, my man. And so it looks like there you have it, Romero and Eric Dyer. Is it going to be a 2 centre-back situation or a 3 centre-back situation? That's what we will remain to see. Joe,
quickly to Joe, I would say, it's not Mr. Passion anymore. Dark Sunji, be happy to let you know, it is actually Mr. Easy Pass now. I kind of feel like, Mr. Passion is just too nice of a nickname, for Winks anymore. It's not even really fitting the times, I feel like, David, it's kind of a bit of an old nickname. We have to take it off him. So unlearn it, Harris Army. Just unlearn that nickname. Mr. Easy Pass is now the new one, which Dark Sunji came up with, I believe. So big up, Dark Sunji.
Yeah, big up, Dark Sunji. Yeah, look, Mr. Passion, I'm afraid he'd take it as a compliment, so we had to shift the goalpost on this one. Paul Markey says he wants a 4-4-2. Galini, Doherty, Sanchez, Romero, Davies, Bergwijn, Skip, Lo Celso, Session, Hill, and Kane. Yeah, that's not a bad team. And look, that should be more than enough to put Pacos to Ferreira to bed. Way more than enough. So I really like that team. A 4-4-2 or 4-4-2. be interesting to see how it works out. But there'll definitely be goals in there, 100%. Paul Markey, great starting lineup. Philip, would you do anything different here?
Yeah, let me see now. Sanchez, Romero, Davis. But well, again, there's a couple of Doherty. Maybe I wouldn't have playing, but apart from that, that would be the back. Well, again, I put Mr. P in for Doherty. Yeah, Sanchez, Romero, Davis, possibly. Yeah, Sessegnon. Yeah, I would go Skip and Lo Celso in the middle. I think it's either Højbjerg or Skip has to play tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Really, one of them has to play. So I would put maybe Lo Celso in beside him. And that would leave then, Bergwijn, Hill, and Kane. That's a forward line enough to scare the pants off any team, never mind Pacos Ferreira. So, I mean, that would put like that. Put that team out and we're 4-0 up at halftime and you can relax.
Absolutely love the confidence. Absolutely love the confidence. Jack, you hadn't said Paul Markey?
I mean, to be honest, like maybe Philip had said, this team should be well more than enough to be able to beat this, to beat Pacos de Ferreira, especially at home. You consider, would like to know, Paul Markey, with the likes of Hill, which one is playing up top? Is it going to be Bergwijn or is it Hill? Because, I could see Sessegnon, maybe playing that left wing position, where Davies is playing left back and, skipping Lo Celso in the middle, like Philip was saying. But who's playing on the right? Is it Bergwijn or is it Hill? I'd be interested to know.
I think it's Bergwijn by the looks of it. With Hill up front with Kane, big and little man combination. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Hill could run in behind, but Bergwijn can run in behind as well. So that one would be a bit interesting. But I think either would probably do well against with Harry Kane right beside them. Either would do well.
100%. Sorry, Philip, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, I mean, I'm not belittling Paco Ferreira, but I can just imagine those guys now. They're probably in the stadium now training with their mouths hanging open.
Yeah.
Look, this is the biggest stadium we've ever played in and probably will ever play in. That can do two things. It can inspire them or it can make them scared shitless in front of the crowd tomorrow night. Like, I mean, they only had, 2,000 or 3,000 at their home ground. There was no atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay, it mightn't be 50 or 60,000 there. So I don't know.
Like a university game.
Yeah, but there's going to be 40,000 at that match anyway. And there's going to be 39,000 baying for blood.
Yeah.
So I honestly think they're going to fold. I do not think they're going to be strong enough to take what's coming against them tomorrow night.
Would you put your money on it? Maybe an own goal then, Philip? Would you put your money on an own goal?
Well, you never know. Yeah, or else the goalkeeper letting one through his legs or something silly like that. Yeah, possibly. You never know.
Well, look, I love a good packet of Ferreira Rochers, so I have no problem. I have no problem enjoying them tomorrow. I'll definitely have some in the apartment for tomorrow. Anyway, that's for sure. Sitting back and enjoying them. Hopefully, if not, I'll end up throwing them off the walls. I'll be raging. But big up, Paul Markey. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much, everyone else. Keep getting the support in, guys. It's absolutely incredible. Jack, did I ask you? Would you start Davies and Doherty again?
I think you did, David. Yeah, I think you asked me about my back four, back three. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. So, guys, Winks for me. Look, he cost us in the last game. I know Cameron Carter-Vickers, the defending was awful, but at the end of the day, I said in the last game, Pacos Ferreira will press you in midfield aggressively and look to turn the ball over and build their attacks from there. That's what they do. They've scored 3 goals in this competition out of 5 so far. Doing that. 2 against Larne, 1 against us. So for me, look, I don't think Winks should play again tomorrow night. I really don't. I think he should be benched because I don't want the same thing happening. Because make no mistake about it, they probably will sit back tomorrow. But they will still look to target, if Winks plays, to target him, take the ball off him, and go and try and catch us out, on the break. With players press forward and try and get a quick goal themselves. So we cannot allow that to happen. So for me, I wouldn't start Winks. Philip, would you play Winks tomorrow night?
No, definitely not. No, I wouldn't. I don't think. He was a mark. You nailed it before last week's match, David. You know that they were going to press us in midfield, and Winks was a marked man. He had a what you call a target on his shirt because they went straight for him from the very start, and he was caught in possession. Okay, he wasn't the only one to get caught in possession, but he was the main man, and he wasn't doing his job for the goal. He wasn't tracking back. So no, Winks not to play tomorrow. Not to me. Now that being said, he'll probably be on the bench, which means when we're 4-0 up at half time, he might come on. But at that stage, I don't think even he could make us lose the match from that sort of position, you know?
Yeah.
Don't give him a challenge, Philip. Don't give him a challenge.
No.
Yeah, Harry Winks is probably sitting there. Oh, Philip's giving me a challenge. You're going to have to do it tomorrow night now. So if we lose tomorrow, guys, you can come back here and blame Philip tomorrow night, lads. No problem at all.
But Jack, you here tomorrow night, lads.
Make sure you get that good conditioner in it, Philip. You know, give it a good condition, lad. But look, Jacko, my man, again, Harry Winks, look, not only was he bad and they targeted him, and the thing is, every team is, no matter who Winks plays against, that target is always going to be on his back until he rectifies it. But he was very, very poor on the ball, not productive with it whatsoever. Little sideways passes, picking it out to Doherty, taking it back, out to Davies, taking it back, just rotating it side to side, kind of sitting there, 1-0 down, lads. Is anyone going to maybe try and go forward here? It was a bit ridiculous. Again, would you even start Winks, even if it was to put him in there for passes and stuff like that?
No, I would absolutely not start Stinksy. I think if I had to start, Stinksy, Dave, if Nuno or you, David, or, were putting a gun to my head, saying you have to start him, I'd probably play him in some sort of, triangle kind of midfield where, he at least has another option, to play to. I felt like in last game, it was a bit of a 2-man midfield, Niall John, really was kind of, drifting, a lot, kind of free roaming, you might say, throughout, kind of the final third, and wasn't really necessarily as a part of the midfield as Lo Celso. It seemed like they were man marking Lo Celso. It seemed like they also always had a man on Lo Celso. So Harry Winks still should be able to deal with that. Like, I'm not giving him any excuses here, but I do think if I were to damage control him, Dave, in case he were selected for this game, I would do kind of a triangle midfield of some sort. So, some of those errant, hospital passes, let's say, didn't maybe where he wouldn't have to play as often, because last match he's just playing hospital pass after hospital pass, more or less because he forced himself to, and that's what makes him so frustrating. But to be honest, Dave, answer your question again, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, Harvey White, where are you? I mean, I couldn't ask for him sooner, Dave.
No, look, we're in sync like a good orchestra, to be honest with you. That's what I wanted, unanimous decision. Absolutely brilliant. No more defense for this guy. Look, whether you want him in there to do the passing or whether you want him in there, to be the link-up man, whatever else, no matter what it is, the guy's not good enough. If teams like Pacos to Ferreira are targeting the guy, he's done at Tottenham. That's all I'm going to say on it. I'm not going to go too much into the guy because I just feel sorry for him at this stage. Dark Sung G says, are you planning a watch-along tomorrow? No, we're not, my man. We're not planning no watch-along tomorrow. I'm not anyway, not on this channel. Not sure what the story is with the watch-along on Matty Hayes' channel. I don't think we know yet, Jack, do we? 100%?
I'm pretty sure Matty Hayes is definitely in the works trying to make one. So stay tuned for that, Dark Sun G. If you like watching, Matty Hayes says, stay tuned for him. Pretty sure he's trying to make it work. If not, always we are Tom TV. You can always rely on them.
100%. And Zoe, we are straight into the group stages tomorrow if we win. Joe, big up, Joe. Really appreciate the support. My man, he says 4-2-3-1. Galini, Piscozzi, Romero, Sanchez, Sessegnon, Skip, Niall John, Bergwijn, Lo Celso, Gil, and Kane. On what you said, I will give Lo Celso another chance. Go on, Joe. That's what I'm talking about. Look,
Joe.
It just makes sense. It just makes sense for me to try and get him in there, get him these sort of games, get him some confidence, and just push the first team so that, they don't get too comfortable in their positions. We don't end up falling into the same trap and seeing the same shit we had to put up with last season. As well, we need him for these sort of games. We need him to step up as well, because we shouldn't have to be bringing in the likes of a Kane. As much I never thought I'd say this, but even a Bergwijn, a Skip or a Højbjerg coming in to save some of these guys' asses. It shouldn't happen. So, look, Lo Celso does need to buck up his ideas, but these are the games he has to do. But big up, Joe. Really appreciate the support, my man. And that's a good team. I'd be very happy with that. I know Philip would be happy enough with it too. Maybe the exception of John. But Philip would be very, very happy with that. Big up, Joe. Really appreciate the support. And maybe you can be in the dugout with Nuno or give him a text and let him know your lineup, because that's a good lineup. I'd be very happy with that. It saves me having to see some awful stuff happening. Big up, Joe. Dark Sun G21 says, no, number 33 is captain. No easy pass. Watch along tomorrow. Look, yeah, I doubt he'll be captain. He better not be captain, honestly. Look, as much as he did have a good Euros and stuff like that, just what I've seen in the Spurs shirt personally, I don't think he's been enough. If Harry Kane is out there tomorrow, you put Harry Kane captain for me. It's that simple. If he starts, and again, yeah, no one wants to see that. He shall remain anonymous in midfield. And like Jack was saying, Dark Sunji, we are trying to plan a watch along on Matty's channel tomorrow, so just stay tuned. We will let you know. I'll try and have it confirmed for the 9:30 show, Dark Sun G. So I'll do my best.
He's even anonymous as a captain, though, David. Quickly, to Dark Sun G. Davies, Mr. Anonymous. You would think that with the captain's armband, you think you get a bit of self-importance, maybe a bit of self-identity, with the captain's armband, on his shoulder or on his arm. And, it really still wasn't. He was still anonymous. Even in the 80th minute, I realized he was the captain. That just shows Mr. Anonymous.
Give him some credit. He did win the toss.
I absolutely love him, Philip.
He delegated well, yeah.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That's a good one. I may keep that one. I may write that one down, Philip. I actually may use that in future. That's a good one when I'm on other channels. But big up, Joe. Big up, Dark Sun G, for the support, guys. Absolutely amazing. Everyone else, guys, keep getting in the support if you can. If not, we know some people are not in the position to do it, so we will keep getting your comments up. Just the super chat does skip the queue, guys. It does skip the queue. But look, we'll get into the next question. Back to you, Philip. You're up. Harry Kane. Look, he came out today, my man. Harry Kane, King of the Lane, number 10. He's come out today and confirmed he will be here, till January at least. I'm going to say the season because I'm confident. Would you start him tomorrow night, Philip?
Well, the sort of the Roy of the Rovers in me tells me, yeah, get him out on the pitch to start tomorrow night. I think it'd be more probably he might make a guest appearance near the end when we, as I meant for the reasons I stated earlier there, when we're either cruising or we're in trouble, hopefully cruising. I don't know would he start. He'll definitely start against Watford on Sunday, but I would say he'd be more a cameo appearance tomorrow night. But what I will say about this, the whole scenario, now I hope I'm not going off topic here, but this is something that I've been hoping I'll be able to say for a number of weeks. There are certain people in the media who shall remain nameless, but I'm not going to remain nameless. I'm going to call them out. Sky Sports, the Sun newspaper, and numerous ex-Spurs players who should know better should be ashamed of themselves tonight. They have latched on to a story which probably never had legs. They've tried to downplay or tried to browbeat Spurs into selling our best player to Manchester City for a ridiculous amount of money. City never offered anywhere near what Harry Kane was worth. And I would go so far is like some of the headlines in the Sun in recent weeks where he's gone, Kane is gone. Like imagine being a Spurs fan and waking up in the morning and seeing that. I would actually bar Sun newspaper journalists from the home ground as a punishment for the crap they've been spouting over the last few weeks. Yeah. And I would also join in a few players like Jamie Redknapp, possibly even Teddy Sheringham had a few things to say about it. You should know better. But if you notice, they're the players that aren't involved with the club at ambassador level. They probably have a bit of a gripe against the club. And also Jamie O'Hara as well. He's another one that can probably do with a touch. So it's great to be able to call those guys out. They are now with egg on their face so much. It is just great to see it.
You said
they've got egg on their face.
Philip, you said when we were discussing this beforehand, you said I'd have a list of all the people that were getting on to me on Twitter. Your list is bigger than mine, lad.
I wanted to get in before you, But no, it's a great day for Spurs. It's a great day for Spurs, and it's a good day for football. It now shows that the money men cannot walk over any club that they want. And I mean, I know we all don't like him and we want him out and this and the other, but I'll tell you one thing, Daniel Levy deserves credit for the way he withstood the barrage that's been coming his way in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not everybody's cup of tea. We don't want him at the club, but you've got to give credit where it's due. And in that, I'll take my hat off to Daniel Levy. It's football won today, and he scored the winning goal.
Look, fair play, everybody out there. Let us know whether you agree with Philip on that entire little bit of a rant there. I think he's 100% right.
Philip.
Guys, if anyone thinks differently, do let me know. Brian Ireland says Kane should start getting match fit and get him scoring. Big up, Brian. But guys, do let us know whether you agree with Philip. I actually believe he's spot on 100%. And look, Philip, just before I take the super chat from Paul Markey, as well, what's your thoughts on the whole Harry Kane staying?
Well, I think, there were times during the last few weeks where it was will he, won't he? Some days you feel he's going. And again, that's because of the pressure being put on us by the media, the stories coming out of Sky Sports. And they're like, I don't know what Sky Sports are going to do now for the next 3 weeks. They're going to have to start showing, I don't know what they're going to start. They're not,
retro games, they're going to have to show repeats.
Sorry, my watch is talking to me here. They're going to have nothing to talk about. Sorry.
No,
I'm not sure if I understand, but I can understand that. But anyway, no, I think that where was I now? Harry Kane is our player. He is going to give it 100%. He's not the type of guy that's going to be sulking over he didn't get his move, unlike others I can think of in the squad. And I am absolutely delighted, and I'm hoping he hits the ground running with a hat-trick against Watford on Sunday. So yeah, that's my feeling. We got our hero back, basically.
Right.
I've got my hero back anyway. I know that. Yeah. Thank you, Harry. Personally, thank you, Harry. If you ever watch this, thank you. You're my man. You're my man. But look, we will take the super chat from Paul Markey, and then we'll ask Jack whether he thinks Harry Kane should play tomorrow. Paul Markey says, just got on the phone with a mate of mine who was a Newcastle fan. Not a happy bunny with reports they're in for 40 winks. Said he's class, laughing my ass off. Look, get him in contact with us. Me and Jack will make him a little scout profile on Harry Winks. We'll jazz it up, make it look good, stat pad, just like Winks does with his passing. And we'll get it sent over to you, and you can pass it on to him. Hopefully convince him that he's class and get him to Newcastle. Look, who knows? Why not get him a nice little Geordie lass up there? Try and temptress him to get up there. You know what I mean? I'll do that impossible to get him up to Newcastle. So, look, I hope he goes. Everyone knows my thoughts. I am sick to death of this excuse of a footballer. But, Jack, Winks to Newcastle? Do you hope it happens?
Oh, David, I mean, geez, that would be maybe the best. Day, lad. This is the thing is actually sometimes I have a bit of a soft spot, for the likes of Sunderland and Newcastle. You kind of do feel kind of bad for that region. It's a very football, hotbed, area. It's also, much more of a blue collar kind of area as well. So you do feel kind of a bit bad that, they would be receiving the likes of Winks, receiving almost our refuge. But as well, I would say, Dave, wherever he goes, we'd be happy, to be honest. He's that much of a torture to us, Dave. You would say, you wouldn't want to wish Winks on your worst enemy, Dave, but Winks is that much torture to us. I would honestly just give him, give him to my own mother just to get him off of me, Dave. He really is that much of a torture to us.
Yeah. You do know he'll come back and score the winning goal against us for Newcastle if he does sign for them.
I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less, Philip, to be honest. The more we get just the hairline, to him being the exact same age as me, it's all been torture. It's all been torture, Philip. I can't be. It's even becoming Chinese water torture, I would say, in the way that he's coming in for the Pacos games and still finding a way to ruin it.
Oh, Philip, it's more like an own goal he'll be scoring than a goal. He's closer to our goal all the time than the opposition's goal. He'd be allergic to that. Big up Paul Markey, but honestly, please try and sell him, because honestly, when 40 winks goes, it means I will actually be able to get 40 winks. I won't have these sleepless nights over a Pacos game worrying that he's going to be playing. So big up Paul Markey. Really appreciate the support, my man. And Bob Spur TV, big up, Bob. I knew if Bob Spur was listening, he'd be in the comments. But I really appreciate Super Chat. Too kind, Bob. Too kind. He says, I love Phil, but sorry, Levy gets no credit. City didn't come in with a worthwhile offer. If they had come in with 150 million and rejected it, maybe then. Look, Philip, this one's for you, so I'm just going to sit back and let you talk about it.
I'm pretty sure they did come in with 150 mil, though.
I'm no fan of Levy. I mean, I haven't been for a number of years, But, whether City came in with a big offer or not, we don't really know the story behind this. I mean, there's been nothing that's come out of the club. All we're watching is obviously a lot of fictitious reports coming on the Sun newspaper and on Sky Sports, so we don't really know. And I mean, I would say Levy kept his powder dry there. He didn't come out like nobody heard from Levy during the entire scenario.
Mm.
No, Levy wasn't coming out fighting back. He kept his powder dry. He may have received an offer of 75 million for plus 25 add-ons, which is ridiculous. Fair enough, I'll get that. But he didn't bow down to the obvious pressure that was coming from a lot of sides. And you know, I mean, I say we don't know the full story. Maybe it'll come out in due course. But just where it comes from, though, is going to be proper, because a lot of the stuff we cannot believe it. It's been proven over the last few weeks that a lot of the stuff the papers are printing is just to sell newspapers. It bears no resemblance to the truth whatsoever. And okay, I still want Levy out of the club, but I'm just going to give him a little bit of kudos on this one. And so the ideal situation: Harry Kane stays, Enoch sells out, and we get a new chairman, a new owners.
100%.
Probably not going to happen, but you know.
100%. Couldn't agree more. And Bob Spur just quickly says, what I meant was there was never an offer from City to rest the resolve of Levy, or to test the resolve of Levy. So he didn't have anything to do. No credit for doing nothing.
I think we'll probably have to agree to disagree and just let that one pan out over the coming weeks to see exactly what did happen. You know?
Oh, you're using my favourite line. I absolutely love it, Philip. I absolutely love it. No, look, I do agree with you, Philip. Look, in a certain respect, he could have sold Harry Kane for 100 million if he wanted to. You know what I mean? You know, look, City were testing the waters, and look, he held strong. He could have said, "Oh yeah, look, throw me 120 million and add-on, 120 million and some add-ons." Daniel Levy stuck firm, says 150. That's the price. You know what I mean? So look, I get what you're saying, though, Bob. I do get what you're saying. But on this one, I will side with Philip. But Bob, look, who knows? Might be able to continue this on at 9:30 if we have a bit of time and can make you answer me. Who knows? That should be fun, Bob. We always agree to disagree, but big up, Bob. Great point. And I like the way Bob, came out and said, he has no problem. He loves Philip, but he's disagreeing with him. I like that.
You, Bobby.
I like that, Bob. Absolute legend.
There'd be no fun if we all agreed with each other, really.
That's
would
the
there?
thing. 100%. 100%. It'll be a boring world.
We all want the same thing at the end. It's just some of it with different ways of wanting to get there, and so anyway, the big thing is today we still got our Harry.
That's it, my little Harry. I love it, and hopefully I know tomorrow with his hair. Do you know what, actually, because I was getting worried, I was thinking the Harry Kane hair prediction, that's going to go out the window this season, but it's back bigger than ever, baby. I can't wait. I can't wait. I definitely can't wait. But no, big up for the Super Chat, Bob. Everyone else, keep getting your support in. Like I said, I will keep getting everyone's comments up, but you want to skip the queue, you know what to do. So look, we'll move on to the next question. Oh no, Jack, I didn't get your answer. Do you want Harry Kane to play tomorrow?
David, I think he has to play tomorrow for me, actually. And this is kind of, going against normally what maybe a football manager, Jack would probably do, I would say. I actually would probably start him. And for the reason being is the performance against Pacos, Dave, was so appalling, was so atrocious, so embarrassing. All of the words that would represent shame, I feel like described that game for us. So I honestly would start Harry Kane just to ensure that, there could be someone on the pitch that could make this game easily 2-0, 3-0 within a heartbeat. And to be honest, Harry Kane is that man, Dave. Harry Kane is that man. You probably have a bit of something to prove. He might not be as reluctant, to play against a team like this as he maybe normally would. So I would say, yeah, start Harry Kane.
100%. Look, everyone knows what I'm going to say anyway, so I'm not going to answer. I'll just let people work that out for themselves. But look, next question. Philip, my man, how important is it that we do not concede an early goal tomorrow? If we do, are you worried?
Yeah. I mean, 2-0 down, even a 2-goal lead against a team like Paco Ferreira could be difficult to get back, because it'll knock the stuffing out of the crowd. It'll knock the confidence out of the young players, maybe, I mean, it would be insurmountable if we went 2-0 down, but I mean, I don't honestly see that happening, because I think they're going to, for the first 20 minutes, they're going to sit so deep. They're going to be like a line of 11 in front of the goalposts. They're just going to try and stifle the space and don't let us get in behind them, which we would do if we played the likes of Hill and Bergwijn. So yeah. No, I'd be worried, but this is where the secret weapon, keeping Harry Kane on the bench, might come in. imagine you're 2-0 up at Spurs and you see Harry Kane coming on.
Yeah.
That would scare a lot of teams. It would scare better teams than Paco Ferreira. So,
yeah.
That's the thing. So, if we go 2-0 down, fair enough. We'll still do. If we go 3-0 down, well, that could be a different kettle of fish,
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No.
I don't want them nightmares. I'm trying to sleep soundly tonight, Philip. I've had builders in all day. I was walking up disrupted today. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, I want to sleep soundly tonight. You're not helping me, Philip. You're bringing back these bad memories, my man. But Jacko, again, next question to you. What is it? Yeah. Do you fear, that we could end up seeing another Zagreb result tomorrow?
No, simply because of the home crowd. I feel like, and the Zagreb case, it was away from home, if I do recall. Obviously, the fans not being there, to help us, get through it, to help them, even shame, the team into, pulling it back. I think that's even the case, is that even if it were, let's say, 1-0, 60th minute, it's almost like the crowd would probably will in, a goal themselves. They might even tap it in themselves, practically. And again, like Philip was saying, it's really hard to imagine this Pacos team being, unfazed, by the crowd, being unfazed by the stadium, maybe being unfazed as well, maybe by the better players might be selected, for this game. I just feel like a lot, especially again, if Harry Stinks isn't starting, it's only going to be a victory, Dave, as well. So I would say, I can't see anything but victory.
Yeah, 100%. And Jack, super chat here from Catman Jess. Says, I'm not sure what that picture is.
Just wanted to plug it, she said. Big up, Catman Jess. Or just wanted to plug it, flatcapeurotalk. I've been loving it, guys. Really appreciate it, Catman. Really do appreciate it as well. It's in the description below, as always. Please check it out. Thanks so far, Dave. We have lots of things for people to choose from. Which managers, might be getting the sack. Which young talents, am I looking out for? Your weekend watch list. For the games, that are coming up this weekend, easy way to just figure out, what you should be watching as well. My midweek watch list, which I feel like someone did actually just big up, that PSV game against Benfica, which was, I will say, a really, 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 feisty, heated affair between the two teams. So yeah, all the things that you should look out for is on Flat Cap Euro Talk. I really appreciate it, Catman.
Big up, Catman. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Philip, can you see Pacos setting up, and playing maybe a bit differently than what they did last week? Do you think maybe they will just sit tight and hold on to this 1-0 lead?
Yeah, because if they try and open things up and play, gung-ho against Spurs, we're going to rip them apart. We are going to rip them. They're going to play very defensively tomorrow night and hope to hit us on the break like they did in the first leg. But no, I really don't think they've got the players that can then withstand the barrage that they're going to get tomorrow night. I mean, this is going to be like the Alamo for the first half hour tomorrow night. We are going to be battering them. So no, they're going to play defensively, and hopefully that we get an early goal and they'll cave and we'll win comfortably. Yeah,
Philip, they're going to get battered like a good piece of fish, aren't they?
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but no, I can only see one result tomorrow night. I mean, it's going to be. I would not like to be here tomorrow night now if we lose. That's all I say,
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, if we lose, I actually don't think I'll be here tomorrow night. I'll be too sick. To be honest, I'd be too sick. But look, Jack, same to you. Maybe do you see them maybe even for the first 10 minutes, maybe try and come at us and get an early goal, or do you think they will just sit back, 11 men behind the ball, balls to the wall?
First 10 minutes would probably be the smartest idea, Dave, considering that, we do, we haven't started the first 10 minutes of any game, I would say, well at all. Didn't start well against Wolves, in the first 10 minutes, didn't start well against City in the first 10 minutes. Pacos, we didn't really play well for 90 minutes, but you probably then say as well, the first 10 minutes there actually might have been our best 10 minutes, simply because Brian Hill did set up, Sessegnon with a bit of a sitter. Yeah, Dave, I mean, if I were the manager of Pacos, maybe I would actually go for that goal in the first 10, 15 minutes. And then after that, I would, just be sitting back the whole game and hopefully write it out and maybe just, pray for a clean sheet, maybe pray for, really unlucky deflection, or something where a player could run in behind. Yeah, you're probably just praying for luck.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And look, guys, we have, two last questions. So, guys, if you really have enjoyed the show, feel free to get in a super chat just to help support us out. But look, we will get into the second last question now, and we'll start with Philip, and then I want to go to Jack on this one. So Philip, I left this one to last on purpose because I didn't want to have a negative question in there throughout the good preview that we've done. But there's one. So look, Philip, some people say, that Nuno, the level of the squad Nuno picked last week, it was all wrong. It wasn't strong enough. So a lot of people say that these are the games that like Winks, Doherty, Davies and all should be playing in. So is it Nuno's fault or is it just clearly these players' fault? And that some of these players just are not good enough. And like what games is it if they shouldn't be playing in these games? What games should we be playing in?
Yeah, well, I mean, there are I think I will. One thing I'll say about the squad Nuno picked last week, I did think it was a mistake not to bring a few more senior players on the plane just to sit on the bench, just in case. Like we had look at the Spurs bench last week. God forgive me, I don't even remember. I don't think I'd ever heard of 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. I mean, that's not the bench you put out in the European competition. So I'd give him a slight slap on the wrist for that. He should have brought a stronger squad. Not necessarily to play them, but you can imagine, say last week now, we were 1-0 down at half time, and he would say he had the likes of Dele Alli or Bergwijn to bring on to this for the second half. I'd say we probably would have got out of there with at least a draw and possibly a win. But he had nobody on the bench to do that. So I will say he's learning. I mean, he's probably learned his lesson. That's why I'd be very surprised to see I'm expecting a strong bench tomorrow night, regardless whatever team he puts out. He might not make that many changes to the starting level. We just don't know that. But he will have a strong bench because there cannot be any slip-ups tomorrow night. There really cannot be. And there's no travel involved. The boys will be watching the match anyway. I might as well tug out and sit on the bench. Hopefully they're not needed, but play a stronger bench. But I say he learned his lesson a little bit last week, that it will be from now on, the squad will be stronger, the available squad. And there was nothing the boys could do last week. They're all sitting back in London watching the match.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Guys, there is only 74 likes on the stream. Usually it's 150 standard. Views are a small bit down just because of the time we're at. So look, let's get it to 100, guys. Let's get it to 100. Jack, look, I'll just pass the same question over to you, my man. I'm sure.
Yep.
Look, I'm sure you have a lot of feelings. Usually you're the host. So look, you're now in the hot seat. So take it away.
No, I feel like, Dave, there's just something that needs to be kind of said about maybe the last game that maybe not a lot of people maybe realized or maybe considered, is that we griped about Winks, we griped about Davies, we griped about Doherty, but a lot of us, a lot of fans, started to gripe on Nuno, saying, maybe Nuno should have picked a stronger starting 11, that sort. And when you really do think about it, then it's like these players, considering what they're being paid per week, considering, the level that we sometimes do put them on, considering that we say that they are decent backups, if they're not decent backups for a game against Pacos de Ferreira, then I really do consider what they even are doing at this club at all, David. And in fact, what game are we even saving them for? If they're not good enough to be saved for Pacos de Ferreira, who are they good enough to be saved for? The likes of Lincoln City, Colchester again, because then we go to those games, Dave, and the Colchester game didn't really play too kindly to the likes of Harry Winks. So when we're paying these players 80 grand, 70 grand, 90 grand, 60 grand a week, we do then have to consider if we're then blaming the manager for playing them when they never even play, and the games they do play should be against the teams that are well below our level, then why on earth, I know it seems obvious, why on earth are they in this team? Why on earth are they in this squad? Why on earth are they wearing the badge? But it doesn't seem like there's a strong enough reaction from that game, Dave, for that reason. It felt like a lot of people were blaming Nuno, and I'm not saying Philip did, because Philip, I agree with, was, just saying we needed to bring a stronger bench, and I do agree with that. But we were kind of blaming Nuno for the starting 11. We were saying, oh, we should be a bit worried about this Pacos this Pacos team. Oh, maybe they actually might, call us out. And it's like, well, then that says a lot more about the players than it does about the manager. It shouldn't have anything to do with the manager this game. This should have everything to do with the team and the players that he selected. And clearly the players he selected are not good enough against anybody. If they're not good enough against Pacos, they're not good enough against anybody. And that's probably even why, even Paratici, just a little segue, is having such a tough time, David, getting rid of this Deadwood, is because they can't even be, convincible against a team like Pacos de Ferreira. So the other, directors of football, they aren't blind. There aren't going to be, just complete idiots. And when they're seeing these players struggle against these teams, against Pacos de Ferreira, why on earth would we be able to sell them as easily as we think?
Yeah, 100%. Look, I actually couldn't agree more with that, Jack. That's perfectly summed up. And look, when you know that, teams like Pacos de Ferreira, Zagreb, are fancying coming up against our second string teams, you know your problems at this club. You know your problems, and
what games are we saving them for, Dave? That's what I mean. It's like, if we save Harry Winks for 3 weeks for a Pacos game and he can't perform then, like, what game will he perform in?
Look, the Winks fanboys will say preseason friendlies and stuff like that, Jack.
But even Dave, like we said, it went to Gio. We started to question Gio. We started to it gave a new perspective to Doherty. It gave a new perspective to Ben Davies for sure. We started to really question Ben Davies, especially since he was wearing the armband. There are lots of players, it isn't even just, the obvious ones, the Winks, it's just a lot of the players, it was a very, very scary, very, very scary warning, I would say.
No, 100%. 100%. I couldn't agree more. Well, look, guys, we are about to wrap it up. Last question is the score predictions. So everyone watching, get your score predictions in. Let us know what score you think it's going to be and who your goal scorers are. So, look, we'll start with Philip, my man. Philip, what score prediction are you going for?
4-0.
Goal scorers?
If he comes on the bench at all, off the bench, Harry Kane will be amongst the goals. But I fancy, I think Dane Scarlett, if he plays tomorrow night, will get off his mark. And I would like to see Brian Hill get a goal as well, and maybe a goal coming from midfield. Maybe Skippy. Nice to get him to score an odd one, Oh,
I'd love it. Look, I absolutely love the confidence, Philip. I absolutely love it. So I hope you'll be sitting back with a nice, a nice cup of tea and a few digestives, sitting back watching the game and enjoying it.
Well, you're like, we're like you, Dave. We've got the builders in here at the minute, so we can't even go downstairs. There's that much dirt and rubbish. So I'm sitting upstairs here at the minute. So anyway.
Look, I'm sure you'll find somewhere watching the game anyway, 100%.
Oh, yeah, I see some of it, yeah.
100%. Well, look, Jack, why don't you give us your score prediction, your goal scorers, and plug the flat cap your talk?
No, yeah, definitely, Dave. For me, Dave, I'm usually very, very optimistic, I will say. So, no one slate me here for maybe a bit of negativity, but I am going to go for, if Harry Kane doesn't start, 2-0. I'm going to go for a 2-0. We're kind of going to barely scrape by, I would kind of say. I am going to be a bit worried, considering, like I said, even the rant that I just had, about the players, if they couldn't perform in the last game, if we see a lot of those same players, I'm not going to be very optimistic about what they might do. So I'm going to say 2-0 or 3-0, and I'm not going to go higher than 3-0. And then as well, maybe the scorers, I'm going to say Harry Kane. If Harry Kane starts, it's a brace. No matter what, it's only can be a brace. He's going to get the brace. If Harry Kane doesn't start, I see it being Hill, maybe Sessegnon. And that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, if Harry Kane doesn't start, I said 2-0, so I'm going to say Hill and Sessegnon score.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Look, I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go Harry Kane. I'm predicting him to start, and I'm going with him to bag a hat-trick. Done and dusted since Tottenham into the group stage.
No,
look, everyone knows I love him. But look, Jack, why don't you give the flat cap your talk a quick plug there, my man?
Absolutely, Dave. Listen, guys, we've gotten so close now. Now it is Wednesday, and, it's a week been gone. And I believe now we're close to 180 subscribers within a week. If we were able to, by tonight, if we were able to get to 200 subscribers by tonight, that would be absolutely just insane. The power of the Harris Army is, it's almost unwilling, David. They can practically, push down a wall. They could probably, get a bill passed, in Congress, the Harris Army, they're that good. But as well, if they were to be able to get me to 200 subscribers by tonight, I would be just forever indebted to you guys. You guys are honestly unbelievable. But yeah, there's tons of content that's been coming out, everything, from my predicting the top 6 of Europe's top 5 leagues with Darius. If you want a bit of a longer one, I kind of break down, all of, the Serie A Bundesliga, Liga. I give my top 6 for all those. If you want to, know which young players I'm looking at, look at that. There's a video on that. If you want to know which managers I think are getting the sack, look at that. If you want to just know which games, you should be looking out for, every given week, every given, midweek, every given weekend, you should, just head on over the channel for that. And then as well, I know people, probably have realized by now, especially Shamu, I do have a bit of a fascination for, the itches, lots of people with the surname of Itch. So I will be having an official Flat Cap Itch of the Week as well, where I'll be looking at all of the itches across Europe's top 5 leagues, seeing which one scored a hat trick, which one scored a brace, and be giving, every itch, their due honor and their due celebration. So as well, there's just tons of stuff coming out, guys. Really, 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 it's really, plenty of things I think for you guys to choose from for now to look at. So please, please, please head on over to flatcapeurotalk. It's in the description below. Really would appreciate it.
No, look, make sure you do get over there, guys. There is the description, or there's the link in the chat there. If anyone wants to hop over, check it out. Make sure you do smash the subscribe button, guys. The big push for 200 is on, so let's get there. But look, I'll be honest with you, I've been in a bad mood all summer long with this Harry Kane thing. Now that I know it's over and done with, my precious, he's back. He's back. The lovely locks, the curls in his hair. The way he wears that number 10, it's absolutely a beautiful sight to see. I can't wait to see this guy swanning around the Hotspur Stadium, Old Trafford, Anfield, Stamford Bridge, the Emirates, just bagging goal after goal after goal this season. And when he doesn't score, he assists. He's back. The Don is back. He's only going to make us a better team. Anyone that still, is up in arms over it, moving the goalpost, well, now he's been held hostage. At the end of the day, what I will just say quickly on that is, actually, no, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm going to save it for the next show. Guys. So 9:30, get over there, check it out. Kinnicky Answer Me, back here at 9:30, just over an hour's time, guys. Sure to be a good show. We're joined by Henry Wright from Henry Wright TV and Bob Spur as well, as usual. So it's sure to be an absolute good show, guys. So do get back here at 9:30. I want to see every single one of you here. It's the Kinnicky Answer Me. It's always a good show. A lot on Harry Kane, a lot on Paratici. Is he cooking? Is he not cooking? So, guys, I want to see you all over there in the comments, getting in there.
Lots of debatey ones. Actually, I will say, just to plug it, lots of very heavy debate questions. Some of the, the main, themes every week, it seems like, for Spurs kind of debate kind of stuff. Are you Don Paratici camp? Are you not Don Paratici camp? Are you a Stevie Bergwijn, fan? Are you not? It's plenty of things like that, so I will say, I think you should definitely check it out for this Kinnicky Answer Me. The Kinnicky Answer Me always does really well. We always appreciate the support you guys give it. But I will say tonight it's going to be very debate heavy. So please, Harris Army, I'd love for you guys to show up for it.
No, dude, it's going to be an absolute whopper. Some very good questions, ones that every single one of you guys can engage in with us too. That's what we want. That's the aim of all these shows. We want your answer to the questions too, guys. So look, what you have coming up, the Irish Hotspur, you have obviously Kinnicky Answer Me at 9:30 tonight. Predicted lineup for the Pacos game will be out tomorrow. Pre-match pump up on We Are Tottenham TV from 6:30. Make sure you're there. And then, let me see. Then we will be doing our review tomorrow night, and we are going to hold back and wait till We Are Tottenham TV and that are finished the fan show. So I'm thinking maybe around 12 midnight. Philip, if you're around, more than welcome. If it's too late, no hassle at all.
No. I'm always pumped up when we win, so can't sleep after a win. So
no, brilliant. So there you have it, guys. Me, Jack, and Philip will be back here tomorrow night, then midnight. But look, next show 9:30. See you there. Come on, you Spurs. Nuno we trust. And Harry Kane is back, baby.
And Nuno we trust.
9:30. Be there.